So your file has come out of underwriting and we are now entering the approval stage. Again, getting a little bit closer to closing, almost there. And what happens in this stage is that the underwriter has completed their review of your file and issued what we call a conditional approval. So what you need to be on the lookout for is requests from anyone on our team, Chris, myself, Maggie, and Dana, that we get the conditions back to the underwriter timely. These can be things like explaining a large deposit, an additional pay stub, or things like a letter of explanation for something that shows up on the credit report or what have you. Whatever the conditions are that we need, we're going to need them prior to closing. So we need to make sure that we get those back from you quickly. So in addition to providing the conditions that the underwriter asked for prior to closing, if any were needed, you're also going to do a couple other things at this stage. First, if you haven't already, you'll most likely be receiving a copy of your appraisal report if one was required. Be sure to review it, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. But that is your copy of the appraisal to keep for your records. Second, if you haven't already, you'll be receiving the initial closing disclosure. This document is going to be emailed to you similar to how all the other disclosures, including the initial disclosures and any redisclosures that may have occurred, and it is important that that gets reviewed and signed timely. You cannot close until that document has been signed, and there is a 3-day waiting period from the time that you have signed it until the time you can go to closing. So we want to make sure that it gets out to you quickly and that you review it and sign it quickly. If you have any questions or concerns about what shows up on the initial closing disclosure, please do not hesitate to reach out to me or anyone on our team. It should mirror all of the other disclosures that you've received at this point, specifically the loan estimate. Now, what's important to note is this is not the final closing disclosure. This is the initial one. So we really want to make sure that we're reconfirming the loan terms that we provided, that you locked in, and the final amount due at closing should change a little bit. And it's going to change on the next step, which is cleared to close. We'll talk more about that and why it may change in the next video. So be sure to check it out.